Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are, wherever you happen to be. Welcome to another edition of Independence. We set the scene in a dark and clammy place. We begin the scene with Baker, the Nosferatu, the undead abomination that currently stalks underneath these streets of Independence in the sewers and in the very, very heart of the infrastructure of this very, very fine city. This city whose surface is all neat and clean, but just under the surface, under a few feet of concrete, you have this pale, red, beady-eyed figure with elongated canines currently stalking underneath the city itself. It's dark and it is clammy, and Baker's heart is full of woe and worry. It has been some time since the events of the raid on Famine, about 2.5 weeks actually. Baker has been very, very, very anxious with the precious little package he was able to retrieve, able to rescue from that hideous, hideous night. Able to rescue his darling little childer, that one bright spot in all that is the underground of this particular city. As I said, we begin a very, very dark, very, very closed off, claustrophobic space as Baker continues to prowl the streets, now on his hands and knees, scuffling through the tight corridors and passages and byways of the underground, when all of a sudden, should his cell go ahead and vibrate? 3 vibrations. 3 short, 3 long. 3 short, 3 long. Baker goes ahead and retrieves his phone, looks at it. Looks at it for a very, very long time. Reads the message there. Disturbance detected. A3. A3 device. Disturbance detected. SOS. SOS. He understands the Morse there. And quick as you please, as fast as you would like, Baker again scuttles off through the tight byways and passages, and already now he's able to hear a bestial moan, a very terrifying and horrifying growl and roar coming from shaft A3. It's kind of more and more pronounced as he ventures further in until he eventually comes to the place where all the screaming is being heard, all the rampaging. It is a chamber, not unlike any other chamber, but this one has a pit that has been clawed, not dug, clawed. Baker or some other Nosferatu has used his indomitable strength to claw a huge, not by width, a deep, deep shaft there. And down there, there is roaring. There is a bestial creature there, crying hungry.
Um, the screaming continues for quite some time. It seems almost like forever, especially with the echoing of the sewer system, making the screams last longer, make them intenser, deeper. It seems as if the entire sewer system of independence is vibrating with the screams and wailings and the sounds of this creature, as you can hear it kind of spluttering around wherever it is. Then slowly but surely these screams start to die out a little bit, going softer, 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 changing into sobbing, into wailing softly, and finally dying out. Then there's complete silence for a while. And you hear something dripping. Drip, drip. And you can hear something moving slowly, more controlled. And finally, you hear a voice. Hello? Hello?
This moment, at this moment, Baker goes into one of his pockets, one of his long pockets, goes ahead and takes a neon stick, cracks it over his knuckles. It proceeds to glow in a green light. And Baker will actually go ahead and get on his stomach, his hands and his knees, and he'll approach the grating of this particular deep shaft where all this rage was being thrown around. He'll snake his arm through the grating, holding up this green glow, and simply call out, "Mouse, Mouse, is that you, girl?"
There is not directly a reply. There's still the movement, and can hear something just slowly coming up, coming a little closer to the sound of Baker's voice. Um, I yeah, I guess.
Mouse, come up, sweetie. Come up. I miss you. I miss you. And Baker will proceed to take the grating that had been cemented in, molded in by liquid rock, and go ahead and break the grating there, where the cement will go ahead and lift off, separate itself, and he'll go ahead and break another one of these cement seals, and he'll reach down as far as he can, and simply says, "Baby, baby, come up here. Reach my hand. Grab my hand, baby, please."
Um, yeah, the sounds come a little bit closer again, but there's no hands coming. Um, where where am I?
Just crawl out, baby. Just, just please, please. I want to see you again. It's been so long. I almost lost you. Please come over here. Come out, please.
No, no. Where am I? What is this place? It's so dark. Something wet here. What's wet here?
From above,
I'm in something.
from above this creature's head, comes down the neon glowing stick. It proceeds to clank off the cylindrical walls of this shaft until it goes ahead and falls into the puddle. The puddle that is surrounding this creature's feet, about a foot or so of a slick substance that appears green now, but on closer inspection is actually quite a deep, deep, dark shade of red. This creature, known as Mouse, has been wallowing in it. Her bandages, her modifications have all been soaked and dranked of it, and her mouth is completely covered in it, as previously she proceeded to ingest large quantities of it.
Mm, she she looks at the glow stick and looks at the liquid, looks down on it. This is but this is why is this here? What's this? Um, why is this here? Why am I lying in this?
Mouse, you climb up here, young lady, or I will put you back in there.
Uh,
I will close this door and I will walk away. You come up here
no,
right now.
don't go. Don't. No, wait. I'm coming. Yes, and yeah, she'll try to reach Baker's and tries to scramble up on, well, scrambling out of this pit that she was in. Probably gonna take her a few minutes, maybe up to 15, maybe 20, simply because it's slippery. She'll fall down often. She'll just keep on trying. Please don't leave don't leave me.
I'm right here. All you got to do is reach out.
And she'll eventually she'll be able to climb up.
Bigger will go ahead, and if there's not a hand offered, he'll just take this creature by the scruff of her neck, by the scruff of whatever fabric that's currently holding her torso intact, or whatever have you, and just yank her with all of his supernatural, preternatural strength, and go ahead and set her down on the ground in a bloody heap.
She'll just look at well, she basically kind of drops half in the back in the heap, just sitting in front of Baker on the floor, really moving or even looking up at him.
Now, are you going to explain to me what happened, or am I going to have to rip it out? Tooth by tooth, fang by fang.
She'll just look up at you, stare. Oh, wow. You're you're ugly.
Wow, you must be really off your game, Mouse. Yeah, I'm ugly, and you're a shit-faced turd eater. Look at you, you're completely covered in this red, icky, gooey liquid, and you think that I'm ugly? No. Baker will go ahead and take what appears to be a handkerchief or some sort of oily cloth and throw it at Mouse's face. Clean yourself up. God damn.
Mouse kind of she grabs the handkerchief and she's just looking at her hands, kind of clawy hands with uh, seems to be lumps on the knuckles and on the flesh. cleaned her hands, not her face, just her hands with the piece of cloth. Seems to be keep doing that for quite a while, just the one hand.
And
Thanks
Baker,
for
for his part, is standing and watching all this. He simply says, I'm waiting for an explanation.
um thanks for your uh she hands back the handkerchief. For thanks just thanks. Explanation.
Baker will go ahead and whip the handkerchief, the oily rag, out of Mouse's hand and stuff it back into his pocket. Young lady, I, I have been waiting and waiting and waiting for you to explain yourself. And while most of that time you've been knocked unconscious, now you have a working mouth. You have working mouth, working tongue, working brain. Start making sentences. Start explaining why in the world the freaking Toreador Primogen shot you.
Um ooh,
At this point, Baker gets a little bit agitated as he's just going to go ahead and stoop a little bit, crouch down on his haunches, look Mouse directly in the eyes, and simply say, Mouse, like I said, you are fine now, and you have got to start. And that's when he notices something. Baker actually reaches out with his left hand and starts to cup and pet Mouse's the lobe in the back of Mouse's fairly bald head, and he feels something there. He feels a cavity. Mouse, what's this doing here?
mm, you talking to me? What doing?
Uh, Baker at this moment is looking fairly startled. His face is a grimace of startled surprise, a grimacing as his lower lip begins to quiver quite a bit. As Baker's other hand is just going to go ahead and snake around the figure of Mouse. There's currently a bloody heap on the floor. He goes ahead and he sits back on his butt, letting his legs sprawl out as he goes ahead and starts to embrace this wet, bloody heap of clothing and undead flesh. He clutches Mouse entirely to himself as close as possible. What did they do to your girl? What did she do?
Mouse just stays completely still and until she finally asks, "Oh, what? I don't, I don't, I don't know your name. I know what you are. I know who you are, but I don't know what. You, I know you. Your name, what? Cons.
It's Jonathan. You know me as Jonathan. Met a few years back. I didn't look like this, but I remembered you. Even when I disappeared, I remember you. Baby. Tears will start, blood red tears will start to bead out of Baker's undead, beady red eyes, and they'll start to drain and leak down his face, and they'll go ahead and mingle with the bloody bandages along Mouse's scalp and head. He'll go ahead and continue to very, very tightly, very, very gingerly as well, hold Mouse to him, and he says, "They call me Baker here."
I, I knew that. I didn't forget. Just give me give me some, give me some. Well, you know what I'm talking about. Just, I'll think of it. I'll remember it. Just, you gotta give me some of that
Some what? Time?
time. Time. Give me some time. I can. It's coming. It's coming back. It's not. I, I can I can think. I know. It's. You're. I know your name.
So sorry, girl. So sorry. I never wanted this to happen to you. This is this is my fault. I I promise. I promise we'll make you better, girl. We'll make you better. I promise.
I'm not sick. Look, I'm good.
Mouse, you have a hole in your head. You have a hole in your head. You got a leak in the brain pan. I don't know why. I'll find some way to fix this. I swear to you. Baker will go ahead and start to freaking bury his face next to Mouse's and start to murmur and whisper in her ear, her bat-like ears. I swear, I'm going to fix you. I swear,
I'm
I
not.
swear, I swear.
Mouse is kind of wrapping her arms around Baker, kind of tapping him on the shoulder. I'm good. I could. Just. I need um some I just need some
Time.
yeah, that's I need some time.
So sorry. I never meant for this to happen to you. And I swear I was gonna kill the bitch that did this to you, but they wouldn't let me. They wouldn't let me.
Who did what? Um, don't know.
Don't you remember? Don't you remember? The bus, the fire, the madness, the gun, the boy. Don't you remember anything about that night?
What night?
Oh, baby. Oh, baby. What day is it?
Um, it's I know this. I'm just kind of looking around, hoping to see something anywhere. Um, it's well, it's that day. Uh, and yesterday it was um, mm, it's come on. I know this. I know this. It's. I just can't. I just lost it. It's just I, it. I remember.
But
Um,
you know who I am.
you're my sire. I know. I know. I know. You're my dad.
Okay, okay.
Um,
Figure's arms that were rather stern and strong are starting to quiver quite a bit as Baker goes ahead and starts to untangle himself from this bloody heap that has also stained his own overcoat. His entire front facade now has a large, wet, sticky spot. But him being Nosferatu that he is, he really doesn't care. Goes ahead and starts to untangle himself and takes Mouse by one of her hands, actually, very, very gingerly, taking both her hands into his and starting to stand up.
she'll just follow his movements. She's still trying to remember what day it is. Well, it's and then tomorrow it's you know um uh and she notices he's not really asking anymore. And she's just shutting up.
The Baker's face at the moment is one of forced elation. You can see that he's definitely smiling, or at least trying to smile as best he can, with his lower lip and lower jaw quivering quite a bit, and the top of his brow not necessarily grimacing, but peaked actually in a very, very distressed and forlorn expression. But at least he is trying to smile, trying to calm down as much as possible as he looks into Mouse's eyes and simply says, "Okay, just do what I say. You know, you can trust me. You know you can trust me. So we're we're gonna try to get you fixed, okay? Right now, we got to get you cleaned up. And with that, Baker will go ahead and start to take some of the looser rags around Mouse and start to reposition them. Actually, bring them over and over again. The soft spot on Mouse's head, left side, bringing it over and over again, creating a sort of protective little cushion. And once he's done, he goes ahead and ties it down underneath any sort of purchase, actually.
Mouse just literally stands silently, not moving or speaking, just letting him do whatever he's doing. She's kind of fumbling with her fingers, twisting them in out of each other.
How are you feeling right now?
Um, Feeling uh, just normal.
Normal? Normal is good. You hungry?
Mm, bit. I would like to uh, well, what we always eat.
Hunt.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a big enough place. Come on. And Baker will start walking back towards the claustrophobic, that long length of piping tunneling that's just big enough for his form, much roomier for Mouse. Start to crawl into that pipe, but he will only advance a few paces, waiting for Mouse to follow.
She does. She stays behind him as close as she can, almost as if he is the only thing that she can hold on to, that she can understand at this moment.
The two Nosferatu will go ahead into the rest of the night. They crawl in that long piping to two beings, two things, two creatures of this particular underground, two unbelievably bloodthirsty abominations underneath the city streets, underneath Independence. Above them, at this very moment, almost ironically, happens to be a nightclub of sorts. Up above them, there is a throng of humanity beaten to dubstep, hearing that electronic music, the lights, the flashing neon lights, thousands, well, not necessarily thousands, at least hundreds of feet pounding against the floor of their nightclub. While two little, well, not necessarily little, one little and adorable, one huge and horrible creatures slink on to the rest of their night. If you would like to give any sort of outro, you may. Thank you everybody for watching. Have a good night.